Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality?
What's going on, YouTube? This is Taylor McNeilis, and I'm going to give you guys my theory on Westworld Season 4. Let's go. Alright, so that was me about 10 days ago, I guess, 9-10 days ago, however long ago it was. There was a Westworld pop-up event here in New York City. It was a lot of fun, and while I was at the event, I started having these theories of what Season 4 might have in store for us. But then I watched the first episode of Season 4 last night, Monday night. I was a little bit late because I was at a Stranger Things event Sunday night, so I didn't get a chance to catch Westworld on Sunday, but I caught it on Monday, and now I just feel even more vindicated about my theory. And I'm going to show you guys, I think episode 1 of Season 4 dropped a ton of clues that supports my theory. So, you came to hear my theory. Here's my theory. I believe that they are still in a loop, and we're going to end up seeing Dolores back in the countryside in Westworld with her dad on the front porch, reliving the same cycle once again. That's my theory, and I'm going to explain why. Going into Season 4, before I watched episode 1, my theory was they were still stuck in the maze, and this was all just like an elaborate scheme, and Dolores and like this whole like free will and making your own decisions, and like the robots or the hosts getting free will and reaching that point was all part of this like elaborate plan from beyond the grave, and everything was going to loop back around, and Dolores was going to find out that she's just still stuck in this loop. And the reason why I thought that is at the Westworld event, I kept seeing, messages on all the different props of, these loops were crafted just for you. So the last day, it was a 2-day event in New York, this Westworld like pop-up event. And the last day, they concluded it with this dance on the High Line. And it reminded me just how they were dressed and how everything was laid out. It reminded me a lot of the conclusion of Season 1. Where they have that like fancy gala cocktail party at the end, and everybody's in, it's like black tie attire. So that was the same thing as this dance, and I was very much getting those sort of vibes. There wasn't a dance scene in Season 1, but I was getting the same sort of vibes. So I was like, these loops are crafted just for you. There's this dance scene, and it reminds me very much of something that like Ford put together in Season 1. So that's how I was like, you know what? I think maybe we're about to see everything come full circle, and they're actually still stuck in a loop. The hosts don't actually have free will. The illusion of free will was created for them, but it's still all part of this program. So then we watch episode 1 of Season 4. And I'm feeling really good about this because of a few things. One, some of the obvious connections with Christina. And, we see her, she wakes up in her New York apartment. It's the exact same shot as when she wakes up in her house out in the countryside where she lives with her dad in Season 1 of Westworld. And so we have those two shots, and right away, I mean, that's like a callback immediately And then we see that same wake up scene happen again later in the episode after she's attacked by that guy at night trying to get back into her apartment. She has the cut on her forearm. You can see it in the shot. It's like the same but slightly different. But when you go back and you watch season 1 of Westworld, she wakes up and, you know, everything is the exact same the second time, but just like slightly different. It's different people on the train with Teddy. You know, Teddy makes the comment to Clementine about how he prefers to earn his women, but Maeve doesn't have her response because she's busy talking to these other guys at the bar, and so everything's just like slightly off. And I noticed that same parallel. And then another interesting thing, and I don't know if this has any correlation or not, but we're talking about theories here, is, and I'm going to play the clip. I recorded it off my phone, so sorry for the bad quality. I recorded this, and here, I'll let you listen.
This place is fucking wild.
And then we have episode 1 of season 1, and then we have episode 1 of season 4. Dolores is walking up the stairs to the High Line. These 3 guys come down the stairs, and
this place is fucking wild.
The exact same line is said, and Dolores even does like a turn and look over her shoulder sort of thing. Christine is working for that company. She's writing stories. She wants to make some sort of, you know, nice romance story. Her boss doesn't want that, but, you know, the story that she's writing is basically like the story of Dolores. You know, this farm girl living out in the country with her dad. Everything's peaceful, blah, 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 blah. And then she changes it to the city, but obviously those memories of Dolores are in Christine's head. So what I'm getting at here is, I think the message and like the twist, if you want to call it the twist, but the overarching theme and the message of the show is, as humanity advances forward, we're just going to be having like history repeat itself, just in a slightly different way. The same way that like in season 1 in the park in Westworld, everything is the same, but all the events are just slightly different based on how the newcomers and the guests interact with the host. It can change things ever so slightly. And I think that we're going to see that history kind of repeats itself, but will just change ever so slightly. So Christine, I think, is going to craft this Dolores story, and we're going to see, you know, Dolores kind of stuck in this same loop that she was in before she escaped and became sentient, and we're going to see her right back in that same spot, but she will have reached there a different way, and it'll also be slightly different. And then the other thing I think that gives it away here is the episode title for season 4, episode 1. The title of the episode is Auguries, and if you look up the definition of auguries, it is a sign of what will happen in the future, an omen. It is the work of an augur is the interpretation of omens. So, and then we have the poem by William Blake, The Auguries of Innocence. This is back in the 1800s, and it's kind of like one of those conflicting, contrasting poems going over like good and evil, rich and poor, and he's trying to get the reader that's reading this poem to recognize like the beauty and balance and evil like found within nature. And I think that the theme of that poem also fits very nicely with kind of like the theme of Westworld, and even the theme of just Dolores' story within Westworld. But more importantly than like the poem itself, definitely go check it out. It is really good. It has a lot of hidden meanings in it. We are going to see Dolores back in Westworld of sorts, repeating the same actions, stuck back in a loop, not free. And we're going to see that the same with all the other hosts. So let me know what you guys think. Give me your Westworld theories in the comments. I'd be happy to hear them. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And maybe consider subscribing. I'm going to try and be more consistent on the channel. Go check out some of my other content. But this is definitely different from what I usually do. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's it from me. And until next time, peace.